A very good morning, students. Welcome to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir, a temple for learning. Students, in previous class, you learnt what is that is a general features of like echinodermata and a classification of echinodermata. That concepts are clear, is it? So now today's class, I'm going to teach you there is a next phylum, that is Hemichordata. Students, Hemichordata is very important, and in this point of view, you need to concentrate about proboscis and the trunk and the collar and what type of general features are present in this Hemichordata. Let us discuss detailed manner. So students, you can see this is a first another important thing. It is that about phylum Hemichordata. Generally, due to some similarities, the Bateson is a person. So students, Bateson is a person. He considers as Hemichordata. It is considered the subphylum of Chordata. So what is that? Due to some similarities, we'll discuss later. So another one is that Van der Horst, Drydoff, Marcus, Hyman. So these are all the scientists. They are called as Hemichordata is to be placed under non-chordate. So here what you observed is, students, there are opposition. There is a one person is to be opposed the Hemichordata as a subphylum of Chordata. But remaining scientists, what they're talking about though, no, it is not at all under Chordata. It is comes under non-Chordata. So this is that's why what is that Hemichordata? It's a connecting link between chordate, non-chordate and chordate. So that means it shows the similarities of the chordate and as well as the non-chordate. That's why it is a hemichordate. It is a connective link between the non-chordate and chordate. And you can take an example of, students, here Balanoglossus Hemichordata. It is considered as the connecting link between the chordates and non-chordates. That means vertebrates are invertebrates. So why it shows the connecting between the chordate and non-chordate? You can see they have a notochord. Notochord, what do you mean? The notochord is a rod-like structure which is separate the nerve cord and as well as the alimentary canal. And gill slits, it is a branchial opening. The gill slits is actually requiring for the respiration. And the dorsal tubular nerve cord, generally the dorsal tubular nerve cord. So these are generally the Balanoglossus. Actually we have two type of nerve cord we can observe, student, that is the dorsal and the ventral. But here the dorsal is a similarity to the chordata. So these are the three features are similar to the chordates. That's why the Balanoglossus is considered as important connecting link between chordate and non-chordate, or nothing but vertebrates and invertebrates. So students, you can see this is I am taking the example of this is the Balanoglossus. Balanoglossus is a common example for Hemichordata. Fine. So this is about introduction points about the Hemichordata, student. So let us see the general features of Hemichordata. As usual, like habitat. What is the habitat, students? Here live in the burrows. Burrows in the ocean only, in the depth of the sea only. It is alive in the burrows. It is exclusively marine habitat. Marine habitat only it is. Fine. So what is the body form, students? It is a soft and worm-like appearance body. It is like a soft and worm-like. You can see the body of the Balanoglossus. That is look like a worm-like appearance. And it is divided into three parts. What are the three parts, students? The first part, what we call now the proboscis. The second part we call it as the collar. And the remaining part, that means this part represents the trunk. Trunk. So the trunk is actually this one is the third part now. So here the body form has to be divided into the proboscis. The proboscis is actually a very short and the conical in shape. It is a conical in shape. Now you can see exactly, this is to be like conical, no? Conical in shape, no? The proboscis is a conical shape. It is a very short in nature, no? And followed by we can observe there is a collar is there, no? This collar is actually it is a muscular in nature. No, it is a muscular in nature. Muscular in nature. So this muscular in nature, it is a bearing mouth. So this is having the mouth. Okay, so the detailed information about the balanoglossus, the body form, we will explain the next slide. So this is, you need to understand, this is only for general features, student. Fine. So next, collar is a short and the cylindrical part. You can see this is a cylindrical part, and the trunk is a flat in shape. You can see this is a flat in shape now. So the trunk is also made up of so many branches. That is also we will discuss in the next coming slides. Fine. So the move to the next feature, students. That is a body wall, student. What is that? Here the body wall is a single layered epidermis. A single layered epidermis. Okay. So here is a protective in nature. It's a protective in nature. Fine. So the next, another one is the coelom. This coelom is very important, student. Okay. Coelom, it is a true coelomate animal. Coelomate animal. No? Generally coelomate animal means what you understand. No? Like ectoderm, mesoderm, or endoderm. So these are the three germless are now, right? So here the possess the mesoderm is aligned by body cavity. Generally this coelom is considered as the, what is that? Enterocoelom. 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 What does it mean, the enterocoelom here? Enterocoelom and coelom is a both coelom. Here enterocoelom, it is a differentiated into three parts. What are they? That is that protocoel, mesocoel, and metacoel. Metacoel. Protocoel, mesocoel, metacoel. So these three type of the division, it is a corresponding to the three body division. Three body forms, what you know, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So these three, what is that? Corresponding to three body forms. Three body forms. So what is the three body forms, as you know? That is ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So let us see what is the structure of enterocoelom. The structure of enterocoelom, you can see, student. I will draw the structure. So generally the enterocoelom is look like this. You can see this is about the enterocoelom, and this enterocoelom having this is a outer line. Okay. So here is, we can observe there is a part that is a protocoel, and we can observe this is a gut region. In the gut region we can observe here is a first one is that mouth, and another one is this one is that anus, and here we can represent this is about the mesocoel. Okay, a mesocoel, and another one is this is we can represent the metacoel. What is this, student? Metacoel. So come again, what is this condition is called? This one is a protocoel. Protocoel. Another one is that this one is mesocoel. Mesocoel. And this one is metacoel. Metacoel. And this one we call it as anus. And this one we call it as mouth. And this part which represent gut region. Gut region. Fine, student. So this is a diagrammatic representation. What, student? Enterocoelom. Enterocoelom diagram. Fine. So see, student, this is a diagrammatic representation. So like these things I am going to represent you in the form in the balanoglossus diagram. You can see where the protocoel, mesocoel, and metacoel, and the anus and the mouth also I will show you. Fine. So now you can see the diagram, students. Carefully you can see. I told you already. See, this is about the mesocoel. Okay, mesocoel you can see. And about the protocoel you can see. The protocoel you can see. The protocoel is upper part now. And the side part we can observe what is that? Mesocoel. And another one you can see, this part we can represent the bottom part we can represent the metacoel. So student, this is about the what is that? The coelomic cavity or body cavity of what is that? Hemichordata. So move to the next slide, previous slide. So another important point, that is student, that is that stomochord. Okay, stomochord actually it is a differentiated from the notochord. So stomochord and notochord. Stomochord and notochord is different. Stomochord means a hollow outgrowth structure which are arises from the roof of the buccal cavity. Okay, roof of the buccal cavity, that we call it as the buccal diverticulum. Okay, buccal diverticulum. Okay, it is a present in the proboscis regions only. Okay, so what is the, where it is a present in the stomochord? You can see the diagrammatic part here. The diagram part you can carefully can observe, no students. So here what you observe, you can see the black color part, you can see this is some circle, no, this part is called the stomochord and a skeleton support. Okay, stomochord. So stomochord is actually where it is arises from. Here nothing but this is a mouth, or nothing but this part is called the, what is that, buccal cavity. Okay, it is arises from the roof. Okay, a roof of the, so it is arises from the roof of the buccal cavity, that is the stomochord, also called the skeleton. It is a skeleton support. It is a providing to the skeleton support and providing to the support only here. Okay, it is a outer growth structure arises from buccal cavity. Okay, so this is another structure. It is a stomochord. Appearance we can only observe in hemichordata only. Fine. Next, another important point, that is that digestive system. As you know, the digestive system is a complete digestive system because there are two openings. What are the first opening is called the mouth, another one is anus. You can see this, where is the mouth here? This is the first one is a mouth here, no, and where is the anus here? You can see this is about the anus. Okay, mouth here and the anus here. So this is about what you understand, student. That is about the general features, and the remaining general features you can see about the talking about the gills slit. Okay, gills slits. It's a very important point for the hemichordata. So hemichordata having the gills slit. What does it mean? It is a narrow opening in the present in the pharynx region. It is having the one to several pairs. Generally, it is appears in a dorsaline position. So what is it talking about that? The first point is talking about that their shape. It's a narrow opening where it is present in the pharynx. And what about the how many pairs are present here? One to several pairs, and the dorsaline, and the position would be, it is the dorsaline position. Now I will show you where is the gills slits are present. Now you can carefully see, student. You can see this is about the pharynx region. You can see this part. Okay, this part is called as, what is that? A gills slit. And now one more doubt here you can erase us here. What is this function here? No, the function of this one is gills slit is, it involves a respiration. It involves a respiration. Okay, students, the gills slit, it is found in the, it is arranged in the dorsal way position. Okay, the main function of this one is a respiration. Fine. And another one is, you can see the remaining part about the, you can see the respiration only here. The respiration happens because of the branchial portions of the pharynx bearing gill slit. Generally the pharynx only, it is made up of the gill slit. No, you can see this diagram. You can see this is about the here the pharynx region having the gills. This is only responsible for respiration. Next, blood vascular system. Here the blood vascular system means here it is a open circulatory system present. Blood is a colorless. Generally in the blood vascular system also made up of two type of systems, students. You can see what are they? The dorsal blood vessels. Another one is the ventral blood vessels. So in this proboscis, you can see I'm taking the example of balanoglossus. Okay, this is the example of balanoglossus. I'll write here balanoglossus having the two type of blood vessels, students. What are they? Two types of blood vessels, that is ventral and dorsal. ventral, and another one is dorsal. So both ventral and dorsal is connected by lateral vessel and sinuses. It is connected by lateral vessels. This is a very, very important point, student. Fine. So what you are, where you seen this in the, this is a balanoglossus hemichordate. I am taking example here. We can observe that there are two type of blood vessels we can observe now. Where is the dorsal? This is about the dorsal blood vessels and the ventral blood vessels. Both dorsal and ventral blood vessels connected to each other by lateral blood vessels. Lateral blood vessels. So come again, you can see here the point about the blood vascular system. Here open circulatory system, and the blood is a colorless, we can observe here, no? And here the circulatory, what is that? The dorsal and ventral blood vessels we can observe that connected by lateral blood vessels. Hope you understand, student. Okay, next move to the next, another one is excretory system. Excretory system also is very important now. Generally, there is a single proboscis gland, also called as the glomerulus gland now. So here the proboscis gland, where it is present? It is present in the proboscis. Okay, the proboscis, what you know about, what you about the proboscis? It is a first part of the, it is a conical part of the balanoglossus. Fine. So here where you observe the proboscis gland or the glomerulus in the diagram. Let us see with the diagram. I will show you. So in this you can see the terminal part, you can see, student, the proboscis, no, this one is a proboscis part. Okay, so the proboscis part you can see, I'll change the color, I'll show you. Okay, you can see this red color part is there, no, student. Okay, this red color part, only, that is represents, what is that? He can see this is above the heart, no. Above the heart we can observe the, what is this part is called? This one. This part is called the glomerulus. It is also called as, what is this, student? Proboscis gland. Okay, what it can do? It is act as a respiratory. It is act as a excretory in function. It is eliminate the waste material. Fine. So see, student. So excretory system, a single proboscis gland is present in the proboscis region. Fine. So hope so you can understand, and move to the next slide is talking about nervous system. Nervous system, this is represents the primitive. Okay, and in the primitive nervous systems also we can observe there is a dorsal and ventral nerve cord we can observe now. And the balanoglossus, again I'm taking same example. What is that? The balanoglossus having the ventral and the dorsal nerve cord are present. Okay, so it is a primitive type of nervous system we can observe now. So again you can see the diagrammatic representation, student. Diagrammatic representation where you seen in the nerve cord now. You can see this is about the dorsal nerve cord. Another one is that you can see the ventral nerve cord now. So the dorsal and the ventral nerve cord both are present in the balanoglossus. Fine. So move to the next. About a sense organ, like sensory cells of epidermis, it is act as a sense organ. Generally you can see the body of the balanoglossus, it is a, what is that? It is a single epidermis. So this single epidermis only, it is made up of, what is that? There is a sensory in action. That means it is act as a, what is that? It is a sensory in action. It is recognizing the sense. Okay, it is also represents the, what is that? A sense organs. Okay. And coming to the point, that is a very important thing, is a reproduction. Reproduction, the sexes are separate here, students. That's why we call it as the, what is the dioecious. Okay, dioecious. And here the gonads are 1 to several pairs. 1 to several pairs. And the fertilization, obviously it is external. And coming to the development, that is, that there is an indirect development. That means indirect development means there is a definitely a surely larval form we will observe now. So what is the larval form we can indicate now? A free swimming larva, that we call it as the Tornarian larva. So this is a one more important point. This Tornarian larva, it is a similar to the Bipinnarian larva of Echinodermata. So this is a very important point, students. Okay, so let us see another examples of Hemichordata. The following here given here, what is that? I already given, no, that is a Balanoglossus, and you can take a look here, is that Sarcoglossus, and another one is that Cephalodiscus here, no, and the last one is that Rhabdoplera. So these are the common examples of what is that Hemichordata, student. Fine. So let us see now I'm going to explain about a remaining important point about, that is now I can see I told you already the body forms, right? So now I will discuss about this body forms, about the Balanoglossus. Okay, carefully you can see, student, I will explain about this Balanoglossus. So now you can see this is I already told, no, this is about the proboscis and the collar, and another one is the trunk. Generally the trunk is to be differentiated into three parts, student. What are that? The first one is called the anterior branchiole branchiogenital region. That means I'm talking about this first one, this one. You can see branchiogenital region. This branchiogenital region, it is made up of, what is that? It is made up of the gonads and gill slits. So what is the first point, students? The trunk is having the three parts. That is, the first one is the anterior branchiogenital region. This anterior branchiogenital region is made up of gonads and gill slits. Gonads, actually what is that? There is a sexes are separate now, either it is a male or female. The genital slit, what is the role, you know? That is, it is involving the respiration. Fine. So the next, another one is that, and the branchiogenital region is followed by, we can observe the genital region. In this region only there are the male and as well as the female are present. Female gonads are present. This is the symbols for the female and a male. Next, another one is that the genital region is followed by that this one and this one is called as the lateral genital region. So students, you need to remember, I am going to continuation going on in the first part itself, that is anterior branchiogenital region. It is made up of the gonads and the slits, and it is separated by a genital region. It's made up of, what is that? Either this is either not hermaphrodite, it is either female or male. Next, here this on either side of the, this is called, what is that? Genital region. On either side of the genital region we can observe the lateral genital region. So these are all represents, what you understand, student? A lateral genital region only. So that means it is a reproductivity part. So this region is only represents only, what is that? A reproductivity part. Next, the other second part is that a middle region where it is present now. So this middle region here, now you can see this is about the middle region, and this middle region is having the, it represents the hepatic region. This is a hepatic region, represents the hepatic CK of intestine. Hepatic CK of intestine. That means intestine you can observe here. hepatic ceca of intestine we can observe in the middle region. The middle region is a hepatic region. It is in this region we can observe the, what is that, hepatic ceca of intestine, that simply intestine are present. And another one is, student, that is a remaining part, that means this part too and this part. Okay, so that part we call it as the, what is that, posterior abdominal part or posterior abdominal region. The third point, what is that called, students? You can see that is posterior abdominal region. What it can do, this posterior abdominal region, it is arises from the, what is that, the middle region in the form of like a U-shaped. You can see this is a U-shaped thing, it is that. And the posterior abdominal region is to be, it is a terminates into finally anus. So hope so you can understand. Again I will explain. Listen carefully, student. So what I am talking about, I am talking about the body form of the balanoglossus. You already know about the proboscis. Proboscis is a terminal part. It is a conical in form, and it is a followed by, it is a short, and collar is having the very short. It is having the muscular in nature, and it is bearing the mouth, and the collar is followed by, there are trunk. It is a flat in shape. Generally the trunk is made up of the three important region. The first one is called the anterior branchogenital region. This is made up of, what are the gonads and the slits, and it is also made up of the genital region and the lateral genital region. And coming to the middle region, it's a region is a representation of the hepatic region. It represents hepatic ceca of intestine are present. Next, the third region is represent, that is posterior abdominal region. It is to be, the shape is to be appear like a U shape, and it is a terminates into anus. Hope so you can understand this concept, today's concept. Okay, so what we discussed today's class, once recall about who opposed like hemichordata and chordata, and what are the similarities are seems to be like a vertebrate, and what are the general features we can observe, we can discuss here. And at the same time, what are the body wall, coelom, and stomochord is very important point. The stomochord is arises from the buccal cavity, right? So, and the digestive system, fine. And another one is what type of this is a diagrammatic representation of the enterocoelom. Okay, and enterocoelom, what is that? Here the protocoel, mesocoel, and metacoel, and how the anus and mouth are existing in the gut region. Fine. Next, at the same time, we also discussed with the help of the diagrammatic representation. Also, you can see the mesocoel, and another one is the protocoel here, and the metacoel here. Right. At the same time, in this diagram only we discussed so many things like ventral blood vessels and dorsal blood vessels, ventral nerve cord, dorsal nerve cord, anus, collar, mouth, stomochord, and excretory part, what is called the proboscis gland or glomerulus. Okay, hope so you can understand today's class. In the next class, that is tomorrow's live, that is I am going to teach you, that is a new topic, that is animal kingdom and chordates. Fine, student. And one more important, student, while you performing the exams, okay, you need to thorough with these slides, you need to thorough the preparation of the NCERT and lectures given by faculty. It's very important. Okay, you need to maintain the running notes, is very important. No, so hope so you will do all these things in a correct pattern. Definitely your success will be definable. Thank you, students. Thank you all.